All right, thank you everybody for joining today. We're going to talk about Pga.coach and the American Development Model today. We have a fantastic panel that's gone through the program, implementing the program, and is here to share a little bit about what they have. First, we have Jason Montoya. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Jason Montoya, PGA member, Santa Ana, Pueblo, Santa Ana Golf Club, Twin Warriors Golf Club.
Next, we have Tom Yost.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Yost. I'm the Director of Programs at First Tee of Four Corners and have been for 20 plus years. New Mexico State PGM grad. Glad to be here and excited to be talking about Pga.coach today.
And finally, we have Henry Statina coming to you live in front of a student audience at the wonderful New Mexico State University.
Yeah, my name is Henry Statina. I'm the program coordinator for the New Mexico State University PGA Golf Management Program. My primary responsibilities are teaching and coaching, player development, and delivering the educational portion of the PGA curriculum for teaching and coaching.
Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us today. Quick reminder, please, for MSRs, go ahead and put your name and your member number in the chat. And the section staff will be documenting those and assigning those MSR. Really, a couple of brief review of the American Development Model and Pga.coach. There's 5 key parts to the training on Pga.coach. We're going to talk a little bit about that today with some of the experiences. But number 1, first stage, walk you through the 7 stages of the American Development Model. This is really based on science. We're looking to implement the best possible experience for the most possible people for as long as possible. And the training really walks you through this step by step. What are the appropriate activities at each developmental stage for individuals that are looking to get into not just golf, but sport? We want them to be athletes and healthy for an entire lifetime. Once you go through all that, training on Pga.coach, and that's exactly how you type it into the browser, Pga.coach. You sign in with your PGA credentials, and it'll take you right in there where you can get started. Once you complete that, you can download the mobile app, PGA Coach, from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Download the PGA Coach app, and there are wonderful tools in there that some of our panelists will about how they use the tools from the app in their program. There are kind of tools to put together a lesson plan. There's an assessment program where you can put a player through an assessment and you can help put them in the right, not just by age, but by the right where they are developmentally. The assessment tool will put you through that. The mobile app is fantastic. The third part of Pga.coach is building a coach profile. We at the PGA want to bring more to you as a coach so we can help build the game of golf and keep it going really, really strong for a lifetime. Building that coach profile gives you really good exposure on Pga.com, which has a ton of traffic. So we'll talk a little about what that looks like with our panelists as well. And then once you've completed that, there's a bunch of follow-up and supplemental information that keeps getting added to Pga.coach. In preparation for this, I logged in yesterday and saw a couple new items. Just hit it on there as well. But there's modules on becoming a modern coach. What does it look like in today's day and age to be a golf coach? There's a module on implementing the American Development Model in PGA Junior League, how to run the best possible program that you can. There's a module on that. There's also a module on converting the leads I talked about through your coach profile. There's a module that'll walk you through how to really strong kind of sales skills on how to convert those golfers that come and find you on the website and convert them into a coaching program. And then last and finally, coming soon is you can upload content to Pga.coach, something you can share with your peers, share what you're doing. We're trying to create a really good community of golf coaches, and that's coming soon, but you'll see that when you log into Pga.coach as one of the 5 main steps of going through the process is uploading some of your own content. Right now, we have 19 certified coaches in the Sun Country section, and I know not the biggest section of the 4 that I support, but really strong, and we'd like to see that continue to increase. We've got 9 more that have created an account and are going through it in progress. we'd like to see as many possible people going through certification on PGA.coach to become experts in the American development model for golf. There's also 11 people that have created a coach profile. This year alone, that's 64 leads those people have generated. And the amount of traffic is definitely outpacing the number of leads. The more inventory we can get of coaches in there, the more leads we're going to get, more people that will come across the site. PGA.com, it's changed over the years for those of you who've been PGA members for a little while. PGA.com has some really great tools on it. Now, the PGA of America owns and operates PGA.com. It's no longer operated by a third party. And the biggest priority of PGA.com is to take the traffic that we get of people who think it's PGAtour.com and are looking for leaderboard. How do we convert those into leads for coaches? How do we expose them to PGA professionals and what the PGA of America is all about? The two biggest times that we get great traffic on PGA.com is around the PGA Championship. That is where the real leaderboard for the event lives, on PGA.com. But also coming up here for the Ryder Cup. So if you do not have a coach profile built yet, if you haven't gone through the training for PGA.coach yet, build a coach profile, capitalize on the millions of page hits that PGA.com is going to get during the Ryder Cup, and build your coaching business even stronger by converting some of those leads. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the panel. You've heard me talk enough. Let's talk about those who are on the ground doing it every single day and hear their experiences with PGA.coach. And the first question is going to be for Henry. Henry, how did PGA.coach training change how you approach coaching?
So I went through the PGA.coach training a handful of years ago when it first was released, and I've been able to transition my coaching style to being very golf specific, to more holistic in nature, more of an athletic development type model. I'm a big believer that to become good at golf, we need to have a golf club in our hand. And the more time that we can do that, the better we're going to become at using a golf club. And so it was a bit of a change for me to become more okay with doing some of those other activities that are not necessarily golf specific. And more importantly than that is to encourage the players and the families to participate in multiple sports. I think that there's a time and a place, a season for every sport, and golf seems to be one of them. And if we do our job, we're going to be able to make golf the one that they choose for a lifetime. And so based on their model, it should be one where it reduces injury, it reduces burnout, and it allows them to enjoy the game of golf and play it for a lifetime.
Thank you, Henry. You're absolutely right. It's a game that can be played for a lifetime, and you as coaches help them do that the most. That is why the PGA of America has really pushed the effort in this coach training through all of the governing bodies that operate in golf, the USGA, the PGA, Augusta, the LPGA. Everybody that's involved in the golf space is behind this. They want the best possible golf community that we can for a lifetime. And the PGA of America has the coaches, the people out in the field that are doing this every day that can create those really good experiences. Our next question is for Tom. Tom, what would you say to your peers that have not completed the PGA.coach training?
I mean, I don't want to be too blunt, but you're sort of a fool if you haven't yet. It's so informational. It's going to change your way of thinking. It's going to change your way of coaching. The ADM model, I've been with First Tee obviously for 20 years, and we've been using similar stuff for those past 20 years. And I think the PGA has done a really good job getting, on board with that development model. It's going to be able to place your student in sort of a category for you, and you're going to be able to not only recognize that category, but also teach to whatever development stage that they're in. Keeping it fun. And as Henry said, keeping it active, the holistic approach with, dynamic warm-ups, and not just golf related activities, but activities that people understand and can already do that help them with their golf game. So, the lesson planner, creating lesson plans, I think is absolutely critical. It's something I know a lot of us don't do. Having it digital on our phone, so we always have it with us. The videos that are shared, so you don't have to like create new ideas from thin air. They have the ideas for you, and they're all developmental. So, you know, the activities there, you don't have to use your brain very much to come up with a solid 1 hour, hour and a half lesson plan that goes through different stages and models, goes through every activity for you, shows you what to do and how to set it up, gives you time frames. I mean, it's absolutely critical. And then, I mean, the PR that we're getting obviously is, you know, basically for free. I mean, not only is it generating lesson plans, but it's, I mean, I can't tell you during the PGA Championship how many phone calls I got saying my name was on the leaderboard at like the 8th or 9th position on the, you know, the PGA scoreboard. And, you know, it's sort of cool to just scroll and see your name there. But what a wonderful way to advertise in your area by doing nothing other than going through the program, registering for the app, creating a coach profile. I mean, it's, like I said, it's free money in your pocket, and it's going to make you a better coach. And that's going to put more money in your pocket because people are going to want to come to you.
Yeah, Tom touched on something there that's pretty neat, is because we get so much traffic through PGA.com for leaderboards, not just the PGA Championship, but on a regular basis when people are looking up, they don't type in the full address. They go to PGA.com and they're looking at the PGA Tour leaderboard or the LPGA Tour leaderboard. Every 10 people on the leaderboard, we're going to throw in meet your coach. And we use location services on the user's device to display the coach that's closest to them. So like Tom was mentioning, people up in the Four Corners area that were looking at the leaderboard saw Tom Yost's name on the leaderboard right in the middle of the PGA Championship. And instead of a score over that side, there's a little button that says meet your coach. And that's a really great way to just get your name out there as an expert in the community. The people that are seeing your name are the people near you. And that's really powerful. Next question is for Jason. And Tom touched on this a little bit, but I know Jason does a great job with it. Maybe you can elaborate. Do you use the PGA Coach app for lesson plan building and assessments? If so, what programs are you implementing them with?
Yeah, using the app, I mean, it's really simple. Like Tom said, I mean, everything is set in category, skill level, not age level. I mean, so what's really fun on my part is when I have my practices where I get all the kids together, is my older kids with the more advanced skills, they usually set their own lesson plans, which is really cool, you know, because they get to see it. They're like, oh, I want to do this today. I want to do this today. And then I let them have that freedom of setting also lesson plans for the younger kids for when they're learning. So that's really cool. And when it comes down to lesson plans and assessments, you know, the parents usually drop off their kids, and with the assessment, you know, they get to see that, okay, I'm on this level now, and then, oh, my kid's moving up. So it's really good with that part of with the app there. And then also when I do my summer camps, I get those lesson plans. So each day is already planned out for me. And it really helps the parents as well. Like, okay, what are they working on today, or where are they going to be at? And what I do is usually do a screenshot, or I just put it on my Microsoft documents and then send them out. So then all my parents as well know exactly what they're working on that day in camp. And then at the end of the camp, you know, we do our assessments and see how many levels they moved up, or, you know, where they're at.
Thank you, Jason. And yeah, the app is great, and there's more coming every day. The app changes, evolves. I've been able to sit in a couple of project teams that are figuring out, listening to coaches like Jason and Tom. How are they using the app? How can we streamline the tools to make them more efficient? And what we have coming out next year that's not going to just hit your PGA.coach level, but PGA Junior League. How can we make your life easier as a coach by putting everything in one place? Lesson plans, schedules, scoring, everything in one place. And the PGA is trying to make that really efficient for you. And this is our last app-related question. Back for Tom again. We've talked about the app, the activities themselves, how you're using the activities. How have the activity ideas and the usage of the app changed what you offer and structure at your facility?
Yeah. First off, the lesson planning is absolutely critical. And, coming from where we all have come from, where we just sort of have that wing it approach, we show up and we might have a class of 10 or 15 kids or adults. And it's just, hey, I'm just going to set some things up and we're going to go over this, that, and the other thing. And there's no real structure and there's no time. What you learn, especially real quick with junior golfers, is if you don't have plans, everything just sort of gets blown up real quick. You spend too much time in one activity and all the kids lose focus. You don't spend enough time in another activity and they don't really grasp anything that you're trying to coach or teach them. So the app with the lesson planning really offers that structure of, time frame by time frame, what you're going to go through. And it really gives your other coaches that, may be coaching with you. It gives, like Jason said, your parents, your students, grasping what we're actually going to cover. And the app does a great job. The app also with the videos, like I said before, hitting play and seeing how you set something up and how the game is structured and offering new ideas, where some of us, we've been doing it so long, we get in ruts and we do the same thing. And so your juniors come or your adults come and it's the exact same lesson that you offered maybe last year. And the same kids took it last year. Like, man, this stinks, because that's the only thing in his bag of tricks is this sort of like lesson plan structure right here. So new ideas, the videos, the age appropriateness of what is offered. All too often, like I said, we don't get into the activity-based stuff like, strength and flexibility and stability and balance and object control, where we're going through warm-ups and cool downs within that lesson plan. It's just all golf all the time, putting to chipping to hitting balls in the driving range. The app has basically taken my coaching to another level, where I can offer age-appropriate activities in a structured time frame, where we can go activity to activity, activity, activity. I mean, if you've never taught a 5-year-old, if you're not switching activities every 5 to 7 minutes, I mean, all heck is going to break loose, and you've got a disaster on your hands. So the app provides the structure. The activities are fantastic for wherever your participant is in the development model. And a lot of it is crossover to adults as well. Not just age-based, but where they are development-wise. And, get on board now. The days of the paper lesson plans and typing them out on Word docs and hand them out to your coaches, that's all gone, because all of these app-based programs, whether it's Pga.coach or Op36 or Coach Now or any kind of coaching device that you're using, everything is now electronic and everything is going to fit in your pocket. And pretty soon you're not going to have a license or a social security card to hang on to either. Everything's going to be in your phone. So time is to jump on board, and the PGA's done a really good job with their app, and it's really clean and it's really easy to use. And like I said, if you're not in now, get in as quick as you can, or else this industry is going to pass you by quickly.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, Tom's right. It's great. The tools are fantastic. I wish I had them when I was 4 years ago, when I was working at the golf course and running these programs. Some of these things would have just been fantastic to have. Some fresh ideas. And you can all benefit from them. And they're continuing to change. We're adding new stuff every day. Some of the fundamental movement skill assessments that are going to be added in the future are just going to be one more thing. If you can't run, you can't kick, you can't balance, there's going to be certain things in golf that you're going to struggle with as well. So finding the right assessment for your students is going to be fantastic. This next question is for Henry. Henry, what has been the impact on your students since learning and implementing ADM?
So I'd say I'd put the consumers in three categories for me personally. The PGA Golf Management students, I have them in their sophomore class complete the ADM certification. And so after they've completed that, I feel like they're far more prepared and equipped to give junior golf lessons and run our programs in a manner that's more suitable to what the kids and their families should expect from a program of that nature. I also see that their confidence levels have increased a lot because while we can create some outlines and create some activities for them to do, it allows them to make changes on the fly and to match each player on their team basically where they're at developmentally. And then when it comes to the parents, I think the parents are very appreciative of the transition to this more holistic approach. I think that they're noticing that we're able to give their child some activities and the type of attention that they need based on their developmental age rather than just their chronological age. Sometimes we have kids 2 and 3 years apart from one another. And so it allows us to group them developmentally and provide them activities that are most suitable for them. And then lastly is with the kids. I mean, the kids are having more fun. When we get out there and we do the dynamic stretching, when we have activities for them to do that are more sport-like, things that they're more familiar with, things that they might have confidence in, and be able to use those activities to teach them golf and the golf swing, it just makes it that much more enjoyable for them and makes their experience one that's more beneficial and something that we can build upon in the future.
Thank you, Henry. And that's absolutely right. And Henry touched on something there. This is not just golf skills. This is the app. They're not just golf activities. These are athletic activities. How do you create holistic athletes? They're going to have the maximum potential to be lifelong athletes. And golf is a sport you can play a lot longer than most sports. So the better athlete we can create, the better golfer we can create, and the more golfers we'll have for a lifetime. The last question is for Jason. Jason, how many leads have you been able to connect with because of your coach profile on PGA.com, and how much revenue has that generated?
Yeah, absolutely. So the leads have been kind of rising, actually really good. So like, just to give you an example, I mean, I have a student from Kansas who saw my profile, the mom did, looking for a junior coach. So they will come out every other month for lessons. So that was really cool. And I also have another kid from Oklahoma. Her dad saw it, and so she came out recently. So that was really awesome. And then obviously some kids from Arizona traveled to here to take lessons. So I can't give you, I think I'm at 12, I want to say, or even more than that right now with the Pga.coach. And obviously with my social media, you know, I'm always using that as well. But with the actual Pga.coach profile, I mean, you can customize it to, you know, putting your pictures on there of you coaching. You can have your bio you have totally 100% control of. And, you know, you can put your philosophy of how you're coaching, or really focus on putting your information on how you coach and who your target students are. So for me, it's a lot of junior golfers. My age range is it's a lot. My youngest is 4, and then, you know, my high school students. So it has been really, really awesome to see that. And I think as coaches, we need to understand, you know, how did we get our name out there, or where did you find, you know, what platform did you find me on? So it's just really cool. And like Tom Yo said, you know, you see your name on that leaderboard, only if it said even par or something like that, right? But definitely some great leads with the program with Pga.coach.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Yeah, you're right. It would be a lot nicer to see a -10 or so on that leaderboard than meet your coach, but it's equally is beneficial. Really, you're all invested in this game for a lifetime. And the modern coach, one of the modules I mentioned on there, is really going to help walk you through how, if you have a passion for coaching, there is an avenue for you to make it more of a full-time job if it's not already. If it is a full-time job, we're going to help you make it more efficient. If it's just part-time job right now and you want to expand, we're providing the tools to help you make that happen. Like Tom mentioned, the industry's changing, and we want to be leaders in the industry at the PGA and leaders in coaching. And I'm really excited and impressed to see this many people on the call today that want to take that time to invest in your future, learn a little bit about the tools that are out there. And really, I want to help. So first of all, I want to go through the list of action items, what I want you to do following this call. One is log into Pga.coach and start the ADM training. It's really step one in there. Get you through it. And it's totally interactive. It's fun. You're not just going to sit there, watch a video and check out. You're interacting. There's questions for you. You can review, you go back if you miss some stuff. It's really engaging. It's a great way to learn. Number two is download the Coach app. You heard Tom and Jason both raved about what it can do to help your program and bring a fresh view to it. Create a coach profile. Jason is one of the leaders in the country as far as putting his name out there and branding it. If you haven't checked it out, check out Jason's profile. He's got tons of information, locations, his passions, who he's a good fit for. He's doing a great job of selling himself using a platform that has an enormous audience. And then finally, whether you've gone through it or not and started Pga.coach, do the additional training. There's a lot more on there. The sales skills, converting those leads and helping get them into not just one lesson, but a full coaching program, something that's ongoing, coming back week in and week out, and investing with you to become better golfers, not just a transactional lesson. So I think we got a little bit of time. We got 3 minutes left. We actually went a little faster than I was anticipating. So thank you to Henry, Tom, and Jason for definitely staying on time. A lot of people here and a lot of different uses for the app. Anybody have any questions? If you do, use the Tony Martinez, raise the hand, go for it.
Hey, thanks. Sorry, I'm not streaming video because I'm not in my office with Wi-Fi, but I had a question for the panelists. Are any of you using the online booking tool available? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I have not discovered that, but definitely that will probably be a big plus.
Yeah, what Tony mentioned is if you go to my.pga.com, and this is for any of you, whether you started or not, my.pga.com, you sign in with your one login, same access that you use to get into pga.org. And there's tools on there. There's some shortcuts to get you around multiple areas, but there's a booking tool, there's group lessons tool, there's a way to manage some of your leads. Like Jason was talking about all the leads he has. There's a tool for managing when those come in. We can track who they are, and you can mark where you followed up. You can create a little profile for them. You can encourage them to use the booking tool that you can set up on there, and you can link it with your Google Calendar right now. Some other calendar integrations coming soon. But yeah, it's a fantastic tool to continue with that business. And Tony, thank you very much for that question. That was definitely a good one to touch on. But in closing, Henry, Tom, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to your fellow members of the Sun Country section. This is a great program that the PGA is trying to invest in the future of golf and invest in our coaches. And you got 3 really good ones on here that are using it. I'm sure every single one of them would be happy to talk to you more about their experiences, more one-on-one, if you have any other questions. And I would as well. Avitali at pgahq.com or 561-267-1208. I work with about 250 coaches across 4 PGA sections that I work with regularly, mainly with PGA Junior League, but a lot of them with Pga.coach as well. 30 minutes went really fast, so if anything I can do to help with your coaching business, please let me know. And thank you to Corey and the entire Sun Country staff and section for the time today to talk about Pga.coach.
Okay, thank you, Anthony, and thank you to the panelists. PGA professionals, if you hadn't seen in the chat window, please enter your name and PGA ID numbers into the chat window there for MSR credit. We also need to find out who is dialed in. Got a 505 number, and then their phone number ends in 95. Can you unmute yourself and give a shout out so we can know? Maybe they don't need MSR credit.
Yeah, we have a few of our students on the call right now. It might be one of them.
Kevin Amhouse has a question, looks like. All right, Kevin, not going to speak up.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for your time. I know we got panelists, we got places to go. I got Henry with a full classroom of students there.
Yeah, thank you for them to join.
Working with you in the future.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll hang on here just a little longer in case anybody still needs to enter their name and PGA ID number. Thank you, everyone.